Now, when you first download some of our Google Sheets, you'll notice that you have what looks like a warning, which basically just tells you that there is an app script file and functionality that will also be copied when you make a copy of your Google Sheet. This is because we have included some automated features in some of our Google Sheets that allows our sheets to have increased functionality and usability. So the first thing you'll do is make a copy like normal. Wait for that copy to be made. And as you'll see here, this Google Sheet is our invoice generator and tracker. So the app script that we've included in this Google Sheet is for the invoice tracker and invoice tab. So here we've got our invoice tab, and I'm just going to make it 50% so it's just easier to see. And I'm going to just include some random information in here. So here I'm going to select my customer, which is me, Tari Planners. I am going to select an invoice date. So now I'm just going to create a very random invoice. So the way the app script is used on this specific spreadsheet is in the custom menu function. This is a really cool function of this spreadsheet and something that makes it very different and highly automated. So what you'll notice is that you have your normal menu functions, but then you have this invoice menu. In this invoice menu, you have the download invoice, you have email invoice, add to invoice tracker, and then finally the clear invoice option. So in order to use any of these menu options, you're going to have to accept the app script. So we're just going to click download invoice for now. Now it says running the script, but then you'll see a message appear which says that this needs to be authorized. Now, this is completely normal. Because this spreadsheet includes automation like sending invoices by email, downloading the PDFs, and updating your invoice tracker, Google labels it as unverified. That doesn't mean it's unsafe. It simply means that the script was created by the spreadsheet owner and not Google. You only need to approve once, and then you'll be able to use all of the functions in that invoice menu. This app script then allows you to send your invoice by email directly from within the spreadsheet, download the invoice as a PDF, automatically save the invoice details to the invoice tracker tab, and then finally clear the invoice to create a new one. What it doesn't do is that it does not access your Google account outside of this file. It doesn't see any of your passwords, and it does not share your data with anyone else. The app script only runs when you click the invoice buttons. So how to approve? Once you see this authorization required, click OK. It will then ask you to choose an account to continue with in order to authorize the spreadsheet. Now, what I would recommend is that you use the account, the Google account that you're going to be sending your invoices through, because that is the email account that it's going to be coming from when you send the invoice by email directly from the spreadsheet. So I'm going to click this. And then you'll see the message saying Google hasn't verified this app. Now, this is normal, it's expected. What you need to do is click advanced. Once you click advanced, you'll then see this option below pop up, and you'll need to click on go to untitled project unsafe. Now, despite the wording, this is safe. It's just Google's standard language for custom scripts. So the next thing you'll have to do is review the permissions screen and then click allow. This gives the spreadsheet the permission to send emails on your behalf only when you click send, create and download invoices, update the invoice tracker tab, and finally clear the invoice itself. So what you will do is click select all. Once you click select all, scroll down to the bottom and click continue. And that is it. Once you have accepted the app script, it will take you back to your spreadsheet page and it will follow through with the option that you had selected before. So now I'm just going to quickly show you what it looks like when you download the PDF, email the PDF, add it to the invoice tracker, and then finally clear it. So if you have an issue where you click on the invoice menu and then you click on one of the functions and it doesn't happen the first time, that is completely normal. Just run it again. It's because the app script is new. It needs to kickstart and then you'll be able to use that functionality. But as you see here, it's given me the download PDF option. So now I can click on my download window and you can see perfectly here, I've got my invoice, at the bottom, all of the details. And you can choose to download this, save it to a specific folder, or download it and send it to your client via a different email address if you don't want it to be from the email address in which you have saved the custom app script and the spreadsheet to. So now we're going to do email and just give it a few seconds. But now you can see that the email has been successfully sent to tariplanners@gmail.com, which is me. If we go back to our client database, and we drop down to Tari Planners, we'll be able to see that that is the email address included for Tari planners. So if you are going to be sending the invoices directly to your customers from the spreadsheet, I would strongly recommend that you make sure you have the correct email information here before doing so that you're not sending it to the wrong place. So we're quickly going to pull up my emails just so we can see what the email looks like when the customer receives it. So here is the invoice. It's telling me that it's come from tariplanners@gmail.com. That is the email in which I accepted the app script to me, which obviously is my email here. And the body of the email basically says, please find attached the invoice. If you have any questions or require further information, feel free to get in touch using the contact details provided at the bottom of the invoice. Best regards. So it basically just auto-populates the body of the email with this standard text. So then once they click on the PDF, it's exactly the same PDF that you had before. It's just all included in your email. We're going to click to add it to the invoice tracker. And when I say it, I mean all of the details from this tab is now going to be automatically added to the invoice tracker tab. So we're going to click that, let it run the script. That has been added. What you'll now notice is that the invoice number has changed to the next number, preparing it for the information that you're going to put in next. And the final option is to clear the invoice. So what this will do is clear out all of the details other than the key details that are needed. So we're going to just click clear, allow it to run. And now you'll see that you can once again drop down for your customer, select which of your packages, which links to your products and services, change the description, change the quantity, go down here, add any discounts, any tax, any notes that you need to add in. Everything else is auto-populated from either your setup, products and services, or your client database tab. And you're able to click on here to change the date to where you need to change the date to. Your company address will remain the same from your setup tab, as well as your logo from the setup tab. And that's it. Every single time now you come into this spreadsheet, you will not need to accept the app script again. That is a one-time setup step. It unlocks the full automation in your invoice system. Once it's done, everything else works quietly in the background, saving you time and your manual admin. Accepting app scripts will be the same across the board for every single one of our spreadsheets that requires an app script to be accepted. So follow these steps and you will be fine.